Imagine waking up tomorrow to find that every elliptic curve signature protecting the global blockchain has been solved. Massive, dormant vaults like Satoshi Nakamoto's are sitting in the open right now, completely exposed to a processor that views our current encryption as a simple arithmetic problem. I'm your host for Cryptowini. We dive into the deep architecture of the blockchain to see what's actually happening under the hood. If you want to understand the tech before it changes, hit subscribe. The threat isn't distant. IBM's Condor processor recently broke the 1,000 qubit barrier, proving that scaling superconducting qubits is a solved engineering challenge. At the same time, Quantinuum and Microsoft demonstrated 4 logical qubits with error rates 800 times lower than the physical qubits they're built on. They successfully ran 14,000 circuit instances without a single error. These machines are moving into commercial data centers. For the entire crypto ecosystem, the window to upgrade the math of the network is closing. This heist begins with a strategy called Harvest Now, Decrypt Later. State actors are actively recording encrypted blockchain traffic today, building a library of data they will unlock once the hardware matures. This is possible because of Shor's algorithm. While a classical computer tries to factor a massive prime number one guess at a time, a quantum computer uses the quantum Fourier transform to see the mathematical structure all at once, fracturing it in minutes. This puts specific addresses at immediate risk. Taproot wallets starting with BC1P, any reused addresses, and the original Satoshi-era P2PK outputs. These addresses have already revealed their public keys on the ledger. For a quantum computer, that public key is the only blueprint required to derive the private key and move the funds. For these users, the harvest is already complete. The attackers are simply waiting for the qubits to catch up with the math. The defense is a total overhaul known as post-quantum cryptography. NIST has already finalized the first 3 standards, FIPS 203, 204, and 205, to replace the algorithms we've used for decades. We are moving towards lattice-based cryptography. Instead of hiding a secret on a simple 2D curve, we are hiding it within a massive, multi-dimensional grid of intersecting points, where finding the short vector is a problem even quantum computers can't solve efficiently. This brings us to a fight between 2 signature schemes, dilithium, also known as MLDSA, and Falcon. This chart shows the clock cycles to run these signatures. Dilithium, on the right, uses simple integer arithmetic, but produces massive signatures. Falcon, on the left, offers smaller signatures but requires complex floating point math. Without dedicated hardware, processing time spikes to emulate the calculation. Blockchain developers are currently choosing between 2 difficult paths: dilithium's massive data bloat or Falcon's crushing hardware demands. If the network adopts these larger quantum-safe signatures, the physical size of the blockchain ledger will expand at an unsustainable rate. This leads to slower transaction confirmation, a spike in network fees, and massive storage requirements that could make running a home node nearly impossible. If you want more deep dives into the trade-offs of future tech, leave a like on this video. It helps us know which topics you want to see next. To survive the quantum era, we may see a forced move towards centralization. If only massive server farms can handle the processing load, the dream of a truly decentralized network might be the first casualty of the upgrade. Implementing these changes requires a hard fork, a mandatory software upgrade that requires every node in the network to agree on a new set of rules simultaneously. This creates a crisis for legacy wallets. Millions of bitcoins held in dormant addresses cannot be moved to a PQC-compliant wallet by their original owners. The community is heading towards a civil war. They must either break the rule of immutability to forcibly protect these funds, or do nothing and watch billions of dollars be drained by the first entity to bring a powerful quantum computer online. Within the next 5 years, we expect a rollout of hybrid wallets. These will use a dual signature system, bridging the gap by securing funds with both classical and post-quantum math in a single transaction. For institutional investors, NIST compliance will soon be the primary metric for risk. Any project that hasn't successfully migrated will be seen as a ticking time bomb, regardless of its market cap. Qubits are scaling, Shor's algorithm is proven, and current encryption standards are vulnerable. The transition to PQC is no longer an option, it is a requirement for survival. The laws of quantum physics now pose a more immediate threat to the stability of your digital assets than any government regulation. I'm the team at Cryptowini. The security assumptions protecting trillions in value have been proven finite. We'll see you in the next block.